Okay, so I've used my pre-ejection period information to help me clean my DZGT channel as best as I can. I cleaned up all the labels. Specifically, what I was worried about was anything that was above 0.1. So you see there's a row of lines that come up to about a 0.1 there. All these things that spike up to 0.5 and 1.0 are obviously wrong, and those were all their flagging problems to me. I also have a lot of things dropping to 0. Now, zeros are okay typically. That just means there was a problem in the it couldn't, typically it means that acknowledge could not label a particular cycle up here. So I've taken my first pass at cleaning. I went ahead and renamed my pre-ejection period channel to PEP first pass. So that what I'm going to do is take a second pass at the PEP. I also went and deleted again all the labels that were in my channel 12 so that the system can relabel them when it recalculates PEP. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the procedure again to calculate pre-ejection period. So it's analysis, impedance cardiography, and we're going down to pre-ejection period. And we have to specify what's where. So this is in channel 12, and I've cleaned all the old labels out of that. And the DZDT channel is in channel 9. We're going to do the entire graph, and we're going to display the results as a graph channel so we can look at it. Actually, at this point, let's go ahead and do graph and Excel spreadsheet. So now we can finally see our output in two places, and then we're going to say OK. I'm just going to go through all this again, and we should have a new channel when it's all done. And it's creating an Excel spreadsheet as well with PEP in it. But before we're quite ready for the Excel, we're going to want to tab back to our data. Now we've got two PEP channels, one on top of the other, the first pass and the second pass. And you'll see in all the cleaning, I get rid of nearly all of those upticks. It looks like I missed one back near the beginning. So then I'm going to do one last check there. I'm going to I'm going to take my zoom tool and see where this is. In fact, I'll just draw a tiny little square around it. And there I found my big uptick, and that's a problem, so I'm going to follow that all the way up and see what was going on here. And it looks like there's just kind of a mislabel. So I'm going to zoom in on this even more. I'm going to use this as my guide because this is where the problem was. I'm going to go up here and try to see what happened. Really, it doesn't look too bad. It must be back here somewhere. And so I just need to find where the problem is and fix it. Strangely enough, I must be missing something. I can't see a B that looks terribly off, so I'm going to go to my event palette. But before I do, I'm going to grab my arrow tool. I'm going to highlight a label that's in the ballpark so that when I go to my event palette, it should open to that event that I just highlighted, so I can kind of look around and see what's going on. So bring this over here, and I'm going to look. I'm assuming I'm finding a B that's a little bit off. Really, the B's don't look bad. So I'm a little confused about why that PEP went so extremely crazy. I think the best thing I can see here, and I'm going to need to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom out just a titch, I think. I'm going to say a time scale of 2. And then I'm going to look again. Best thing I can see what happened here is there was a non-labeled cycle. And then there was a labeled cycle. That B isn't bad. But what's happening is calculating from the QRS onset, there it is, which is officially the Q point, from the Q point of the ECG to the B point, and you see it crossed over an entire cycle. So that's the matter there. So I think what we're going to do is just delete this cycle, even though actually it looks labeled reasonably well as it is. I think it's best to delete it. So I'm going to have to take that and get rid of it. Now I could do that, or since this is the only mistake, I can keep that in my mind and flip to my Excel spreadsheet. And if I can find the thing, and remember in the sequence where that outlier was and simply delete the outlier out of the Excel spreadsheet rather than having to recalculate PEP a third time. So those are a few different ways to go about cleaning.